Hello my dear students, we will continue class with the chemical properties of aldehydes and ketones with internal Cannizzaro reaction. Actually when some CH3 and C double bond O and C double bond O H was there. So certainly here you have alpha hydrogen here actually. So this kind won't undergo Cannizzaro reaction because that will undergo that what kind aldol condensation. So suppose here if you have like benzene C6H5. So now is there any alpha hydrogen? No. This is keto group. This is aldehyde group CHO and C double bond O. Okay. So when this when this kind of reactant given like keto group and aldehyde group like this, internal Cannizzaro takes place. Only one reactant, and if they given either base or acid. So Cannizzaro reaction and aldol condensation both takes place either alkali medium means basic medium or else acidic medium also. Now what happens here? The particular carbonyl group which is in terminal like C double bond OH will undergo oxidation, and the carbonyl group which is in middle, okay, that will undergo reduction. So what will be the product here? Certainly, see here carboxylic acid is not possible, right? COOH is possible. So C double bond OH like that? No. So internal Cannizzaro in that middle one will undergo reduction like keto group. Okay, and more reactive one C double bond OH is terminal and more reactive, that will undergo oxidation. Terminal undergo oxidation. This group oxidation and this particular carbonyl group undergo reduction. Certainly your product C6H5 and benzene ring, and here OH, and it became OH now, so one more hydrogen here. So here C double bond OH. If it is NaOH, ONA here. If it is KOH, OK, like that. So what happened? This CHO became COOH and C double bond O become CHOH. That happened in internal Cannizzaro reaction. Okay. So in a similar manner, we can discuss about what is the mechanism for so just write on this mechanism for Wolff-Kishner reduction. I'll tell you. So okay, so Wolff-Kishner reduction, do you remember? Aldehydes or ketones in presence of hydrazine and base, they converted into alkane, means C double bond O group. Wherever you have that C double bond O become CH2. If that is in middle, CH, like that. If that is CHO is terminal, then CH3. Understanding? Very simple. C double bond OH in Wolff-Kishner reduction. NH2 single bond NH2 and OH minus given. This last CHO becomes CH3. If keto group is there like that in middle, so that in presence of hydrazine NH2 single bond NH2 in presence of base, then you are having CH2. So here something methyl is there and something methyl is there. So what happens there? So here methyl and here also methyl. So C double bond O becoming CH2. CHO becoming CH3. So this is the most important thing in Wolff-Kishner reduction. Okay. So aldehyde group, not only Wolff-Kishner reduction, even in that Clemmensen reduction also same thing happen. Understanding? So here Wolff-Kishner reduction, some mechanism, let's see sir everyone. So here I am taking like C6H5 and C double bond O, okay, C double bond OH. Got it sir? Otherwise or else some ketone I am taking, no problem here for me. Like ketone means how I have to take sir, C6H5 and C double bond O and some CH3 here. So I am adding hydrogen, NH2 single bond NH2. What I am doing, understanding? So this is actually mechanism for Wolff-Kishner reduction. mechanism. Let's see what happens. So actually everybody knows that reaction, if you see, if base given C6H5 C double bond O CH3, that converts into C6H5 CH2 CH3. C6H5 C double bond O CH3. So what I said in previous, C double bond O group converts to CH2, I told now, that only happened. Now let's see the mechanism what happens here. Okay, so now C6H5 and C double bond O CH3. Now hydrogen. So NH2 single bond NH2. This is hydrogen. Okay, so now what happens? So H2O will come out minus H2O, right? Got it? Hydrogen, NH2 single bond NH2 is a hydrogen with this ketone C6H5 C double bond O CH3. So next what happens means like C6H5 and C double bond NH2 like this, and at this carbon, yes, at this carbon you have methyl. Correct? So C6H5 CCH3, this carbon has methyl, no? That methyl halide, double bond N, single bond NH2. So here we use base in this reaction. Do you remember? In Wolff-Kishner reduction, we are using hydrogen as well as base. So what happens here? This base abstract one of the proton. So this proton as H plus will come out. So OH minus, base abstract the proton. Getting? So then what happens? This will come out like this bond, double bond. So that here you have a negative charge. Understanding what I am saying? Base abstract the proton. Do you know Bronsted base? Acid means donate proton. Base taking proton. So this OH minus is a base taking this H plus. This will come out here. These pi bond will come out here, and this single bond will come over here. So double bond it will be. So H plus will come now. So this single bond will come between these two nitrogens. So what you have here means C6 and H5 and C and CH3, and here you have a negative charge on carbon. Between carbon and nitrogen, before you have double bond. Now between carbon and nitrogen you have single bond only. So carbon having negative charge here, and now between two nitrogens double bond, and one hydrogen already gone. Okay, now so again this water was lost, no, here minus H2. That water will donate HOH. So water here lost, and here also minus H2 actually. Listen carefully. Now this water donate proton to this carbon. So what you will have there? So minus OH minus. So OH minus gone. Understanding what we are adding? So what was removed? Base was removed. Minus OH minus means OH minus removed. So H plus added on this carbon. Certainly what you have there? C6H5, and here it will be CH and CH3 and single bond N, double bond N and H. Following everyone? So here you have N double bond N H. Here what you have clearly? This has one more hydrogen like this. Clearly. So again you are adding base. You have no need to add, automatically happen. First what happened? Water lost with hydrogen. This form. Then base already we are adding, no? Base automatically taking this proton. So this migration happened, and double bond, and this pi bond migrated to carbon. So carbon has a negative charge. So that negative charge neutralized by water donating proton to this carbon. So it becomes CH. Following everyone? So again base will react. This base abstract this proton. So base abstract this proton. Certainly again this bond will come over here. So this bond will migrate towards carbon. That means N2 came out. Understood? This hydrogen abstracted by this OH minus. OH minus taken this hydrogen, absorbed the proton. Okay, proton absorbed by whom? This OH minus, taken by this OH minus. Why these many times I am telling you? Base abstract proton, that is a base nature. So this OH minus taking this hydrogen, certainly nitrogen gone, because between carbon and nitrogen this bond broken. And again what you have here, C6H5 and CH minus, and here methyl, that's it. So what you have, because nitrogen removed now, so certainly again when you are adding water, again here water was removed now, OH minus and H plus. So from that water itself, proton here donated, water donating proton to this negative carbon. Certainly what you have there finally, C6H5 and CH2 and CH3. So here I written same thing only, no? C6H5, CH2, CH3. C6H5, CH2, CH3. Here straight I written, but here I written like this. That's it. Remaining everything is same. So this is about the Wolff-Kishner reduction. So clearly, so but actually mechanism why we are discussing is any step they can ask in exam. So what is the use of base? Like that they can ask you. Okay. So actually what happened? This C double bond O, this C double bond O became CH2 finally. That happened. If it is aldehyde, C double bond OH will become CH3. Okay, because aldehyde group is in terminal always. So this is about the mechanism for Wolff-Kishner reduction. So have a screenshot and write down please fast. Okay, thank you. And now we will go for test for aldehydes and reduction. You know already. So aldehydes on reduction converts to. So many times I told what is the reduction by using LiAlH4 and NABH4, and those are also exceptional cases. Everything we discussed in previous. So I have no need to say. Aldehydes on reduction converted to primary alcohols, and ketones on reduction converts to secondary alcohols, like that given. And one more thing, aldehydes on oxidation converts to carboxylic acids. That also clear. Okay, I told you alcohols to aldehydes to carboxylic acids by using strong oxidizing agents happens. Mild oxidizing agents means alcohols will convert to aldehydes or ketones. That's it. Reaction will stop if you use mild oxidizing agents after formation of aldehydes or ketones. If you use strong oxidizing agents like KMnO4 like that, strong acidified KMnO4 like that, then alcohols converts to carboxylic acids. I told. Do you remember? So those we have no need to discuss again. Now we will discuss about a few examples like test for carbonyl compounds. Test for carbonyl compounds. So actually suppose you are in a chemistry lab in front of some examiner. He given one powder. He is not a Pond's powder. Powder means I will apply to my face. Okay, not that. They given one powder, organic compound powder they given. They are asking what is that powder? What is that powder means? Sir, color is white, crystalline, it's a solid. No. What is that means? It's a carbonyl compound or not? They are asking. Then what to do means, first you have to add 2,4-DNP. 2,4-DNP test we have to do. Then you will have orange-red precipitate. So when carbonyl compound is there, so if it is R and H or R is there, so 2,4-dinitrophenylhydrazine. Do you remember? NH2, NH and C6H5 and here NO2 and here NO2 you have. This is called 2,4-DNP test we call it. So this is unknown compound actually. For this unknown compound, what you take in a test tube, for that you added 2,4-DNP. If you got orange-red precipitate, What precipitate? Orange red precipitate if you have, then the given compound is carbonyl compound. So what you can say, what you can write here, R, C and double bond, and here H or R means aldehyde or ketone, and double bond N and NH and C6H5, and here NO2 and here NO2 you are having. It's a benzene. What a shape it is, don't ask me. So it's a 2,4-dinitrophenyl hydrazone. It is orange red PPT. Orange red PPT, that is actually. So now, okay, sir, what you given a compound, that is carbonyl compound, sir. Now I have a doubt. The carbonyl compound is aldehyde or ketone. That's my doubt. Understanding what I am saying? I got orange red precipitate. That means the carbonyl compound is aldehyde or ketone. That is my question. If orange red precipitate means, okay, I have some clarity. The given compound is either aldehyde or ketone. So what it is? We will test by using different reagents actually. Okay, one by one we will discuss actually. So this 2,4-DNP test I already told you in previous. So here what we will do means just test for aldehydes and ketones now. Aldehydes and ketones. So what we will do? We will add some reagents like Tollens reagent, Fehling solution and Benedict solution and Skipp's base. These reagents we will use for identification of a given carbonyl compound, whether that is aldehyde or ketone. So first you have clarity. After 2,4-DNP test, you have clarity. The given compound is carbonyl compound. The carbonyl compound or aldehyde or ketone we will use by using Tollens reagent. This Tollens reagent is a mild oxidizing agent. What agent this is? Mild oxidizing agent. Understanding everyone? So by using these mild oxidizing agents, we will understand whether the compound is aldehyde or ketone. Excuse me. Tollens reagent means actually it's a chemical name ammonical silver nitrate. Ammonical silver nitrate is Tollens reagent. Okay. So here what you have means ammonical silver nitrate. So ammonium hydroxide and silver nitrate actually NH4OH plus silver nitrate, that means AgNO3, silver nitrate. So here Ag plus ions will be there. When these two combine, now you have actually AgNH3 twice OH will form. Okay, so this mixture will combine with aldehyde. Okay, so organic compound, that carbonyl compound you taken in a test tube, you added Tollens reagent. Listen carefully. This is a test tube. In this test tube, I was taken organic compound, carbonyl compound. I have clarity. For that Tollens reagent, I was added. If I have silver mirror, silver color, silver you know na, silver mirror if you have on walls of a test tube, then the given compound is aldehyde, because aldehydes are more reactive for oxidation. So mild oxidizing agents like Tollens reagent if you use, then aldehydes will give positive test. Who will give silver mirror with Tollens reagent means aldehydes will give silver mirror. Understanding everyone? So here is very clear. Tollens reagent, when you add it to carbonyl compound, you are getting silver mirror. What I am saying? If the given compound is aldehyde, when you added this Tollens reagent, then you are getting silver mirror. If you got silver mirror, that is giving positive test. No silver mirror, negative test. So who is giving positive test with Tollens reagent means aldehydes. So not only Tollens reagent, with Tollens, Fehling's, Benedict, Skipp's base, for all those, with all those, aldehydes will give positive test. Ketones don't. Which won't give positive test with Tollens, Fehling, Benedict and Skipp's base means ketones will not give. They are less reactive for oxidation. Who is more reactive? I told you in previous also. Oxidation means carboxylic acid have to form. But ketone have a CC bond. To break CC bond more energy required I told. That's why for oxidation aldehydes are more reactive. These are more reactive with Tollens reason. Simple reason. Ketones have CC bond. That's why ketones cannot oxidize by these kind of mild oxidizing agents. So here what is the reaction? Some aldehyde like that RCHO when you take by using this AZ NH3 twice OH. Okay. Now what happens RCOO NH4 RCOO minus NH4 plus. This is only silver mirror. Sorry, not this is silver will form AG. Okay, so what you have along with that some water like that will come. So what happens here? Silver was precipitated, silver mirror. So here what you have to remember, here Ag plus 1, here silver Ag 0. Metal is forming now, plus 1 becomes 0. So this is reduction. So RCHO become RCOO NH4 oxidation. So they'll ask you question, very important. When Tollens reagent react with aldehyde, what is the change in silver oxidation state? Az plus converted to Ag, that is plus 1 converted to 0. This is very important. During Tollens reagent test, Tollens test, how the silver oxidation state changes means Ag plus converted to Ag. That is very important. Okay, so this is about a Tollens test, and Tollens test given by only aldehydes and aromatic aldehydes also. Okay, so aldehydes, all kind of aldehydes. So with Tollens reagent, all type of means that is both aliphatic and aromatic aldehydes gives positive test. Gives positive test means what is the meaning? Gives silver mirror. Okay, all type of aldehydes, that is right down. All type of aldehydes, that is both aliphatic and aromatic aldehydes will give positive test with Tollens reagent. Okay, so during Tollens reagent, aldehydes converts to carboxylic salts and Az plus converts to Ag, plus 1 converts to 0. What is the Tollens reagent? Tollens reagent is what? Ammonical silver nitrate. What forming? Silver mirror is forming. This is about Tollens test. Okay, hope you written all this. Have a screenshot and write down. Who will give Tollens test? I written here in previous. All kind of aldehydes means both aliphatic and aromatic will give test. So what I told today, who will give Tollens test? Almost chapter completed. 3 more tests we have, that's it. Then carboxylic acid tomorrow. Okay, so next is Fehling's test. Fehling test. Fehling A and Fehling B is there. Here Fehling A and plus Fehling B. Okay. Here Fehling A means copper sulfate, cupric sulfate, cupric, copper plus 2 here. Charges are very important. Copper plus 2. And here Fehling B means sodium, potassium tartarate. This is called Rochelle salt. Okay, so this is failing solution. This is also a mild oxidizing agent. Mild oxidizing agent. This also oxidizes only aldehydes but not ketones. As I said, ketones have a CC bond, so CC bond breaking is difficult. So this failing solution also oxidize only aldehydes. And one more thing, this failing solution oxidize only aliphatic aldehydes but not aromatic. This is one of the main important thing. But Torrance reagent will oxidize both aliphatic as well as aromatic. So here we have one clarity. What is that? With Torrance reagent, any kind of aldehyde is giving silver medal. Suppose if the compound is aromatic aldehyde, no test with failing solution. Actually, brick red precipitate will form when the aldehyde added to this failing solution. Understand? If that brick red is not formed, then okay, that is aldehyde but aromatic. How I said? Because the same aldehyde given silver mirror with Tollens reagent. Aldehyde given silver mirror with Tollens reagent. But the same aldehyde not given brick red by using this failing solution. So the aldehyde is aromatic, I can say. Correct? So like that. But brick red also given, so aldehyde, aliphatic aldehyde. So who is giving positive test? Failing solution is giving positive test for aliphatic aldehydes only. Here what happens? RCHO plus, here copper actually plus 2. Actually copper sulfate with this salt, copper hydroxide, means cupric hydroxide will form actually CuOH twice. How this form means? These two will react and this will come, and this further converted to RCOOH plus Cu2O. So what here, this actually brick red precipitate you are having, and one more thing, here copper plus 2 converted to copper plus 1. This is very important. Cupric converted to cuprous. Write down. This is cupric and this is cuprous. That is the difference. And two more tests we have. One is Benedict as well as that Skiff's base, and tomorrow I'll tell you, and along with that I'll start carboxylic acids. Okay, if anything remains like that we will discuss here, and we will start carboxylic acids. Okay, thank you. Remember all these things, Tollens reagent as well as